Okay, hello students. So in today's class we are going to discuss about the agreement, legal obligation, contract and essentials of a valid contract. Okay, so in the previous class we were discussing about the agreements. Two essence of a contract. One is agreement and the other one is legal obligation. Yes, so in the previous class we were discussing about the agreement, types of agreements, social agreements, domestic agreements, void agreements, enforceable agreements. Yes, so now we'll discuss what is legal obligation. So legal obligation is nothing but an agreement to become a contract must give rise to a legal obligation. So an agreement which is going to constitute or which is going to form as in a contract, it need to give a rise from a legal obligation. Legal obligation in the sense it's in a duty enforceability enforceable by a law. It's in a duty, um, legal duty which is enforceable by a law. Okay, so or we'll see there is a statement that all contracts are agreement but all agreements are not contract. Yes, we know that we can form n number of agreements, but those all agreements are not going to form a contract. Yes, so we can clearly see that agreement is in a wider term compared to a contract. All the agreements we cannot say that those are going to form into a contract, but agreements all agreements, but all contracts are going to be formed, are will be having the agreements. All contracts are agreement but all agreements are not contract. Okay, by stating this term we'll discuss agreement is equal contract is equal to agreement plus legal obligation. What is agreement? Again, agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance. So we'll see again in brief or in glimpse how the contract is going to be formed. Okay, so the first offer will be given. When after giving the offer, if the person is going to accept that offer, it is going to form as an acceptance. Offer plus acceptance leads to an agreement. Agreements which are enforceable at a court of law are going to form as an contract. Okay, offer acceptance forms to an agreement. Agreements which are enforceable at a court of law are going to form as an contract. Okay, so we'll see what are the essential elements of a valid contract. How we can say yes, the contract is in a valid contract or not. So there are 11 essentials to be followed to be called as in a valid contract. We'll see what are those. First one is plurality of parties, offer and acceptance, legal obligation, lawful consideration, capacity of parties, free consent, lawful object, certainty of a meaning, possibility of a performance, agreement not declared void, and legal formalities. So these are the 11 essential elements of a valid contract. If any of the one parameter or any of the one essential element is not going to be satisfied in this sense, so it's not going to be called as a valid contract. So we'll see in detail what are these essential elements of a valid contract. So the first one is plurality of parties. Plurality, that means in the sense two members. So an agreement is constituted by means of an offer by one party and acceptance. So we know that in the contract to be called as a valid contract, there need to be two persons. One need to be an offer, one need to be an offer and the other one need to be an acceptance. The person who is going to give an offer is called as an offerer, and the person to whom the offer is given, that person is known as an offeree, right? So plurality of parties need to be there. And the next is offer and acceptance. Offer and acceptance. So just now we discussed plurality of a party speaks about that two members need to be there, one need to give an offer and other need to give an acceptance. So in order to create a valid contract, both lawful offer need to be there and lawful acceptance need to be there. Then only it can be called as a valid contract. And the next one is legal obligation. Just now I mentioned if there is no legal obligation, that's absence of a legal obligation, it's not called as a valid contract. The essence of a contract is a legal obligation. So if the legal obligation itself is an absent, it's not going to be constituted for a contract. So an agreement becomes a contract must give rise to a legal obligation, and legal obligation is legal duty to do or abstain from doing a definite act or an acts. Legal consideration. So for famous case for this legal obligation is like Balfour versus Balfour. Absence of a legal obligation itself, Mrs. Balfour cannot win the case. It's favorable to Mr. Balfour. Yes. So here, the next one is lawful consideration. So lawful consideration means something in written. Consideration, something in written. It's also called as a quid pro quo. Yes, quid pro quo. So it's also called as a quid pro quo. So it's nothing but something in written. So when the parties are going to enter into the contract, from that contract both the parties need to get something in written. That's nothing but two parties, they have a reciprocal benefit for each other. They need to get something benefit from each other. For example, I'm just selling you on a laptop, you are getting a laptop, and in return I'm getting the money. So we both are getting something in return. Okay, so the next one is capacity of parties. So all the people are not going to be entered into the contract. There is some restrictions according to the law. So based on that restrictions, we need to enter into the contract. So we cannot enter into, as per the law, we cannot enter into the contract with minors, drunkards, mentally retarded persons, or the one who are completely evicted from the court of law. From those people we are not going to enter into the contract. So it means that parties to an agreement must be competent to contract. Like they need to be on a major, they need to be having a sound mind, they are not convicted from the court of law. So with them we can enter into the parties. If you people are going to enter into the contract within a minus, yes, it's you cannot enforceable at a court of law. Okay, so the next one is free consent. So there need to be no such kind of threat or no such kind of blackmail. Such things are not going to be done in the contract. It need to be free. So consent means the parties must have agreed upon the same thing in the same sense. Whatever they have been agreed, that need to be in the same sense. Same they need to have that perceptions. For a valid contract, it is necessary that the consent of parties to contract must be free. Okay, and the famous case for this free consent is Ranganaiki versus Alvar Shetty. Yes. Okay, and the next one is lawful object. So, I'm going to explain about the lawful object in the next video. Stay tuned.